everyone, welcome back to Planning with Ravyn. Today we're going to be discussing options to pay off credit card debt during COVID-19. So, the world is still in the middle of the crisis with COVID-19, and unfortunately for us, that does not mean that bills stop rolling in. Now, I know some of you have received a stimulus package, stimulus check, and the purpose of that check, of course, is to put money back into our community, back into our small businesses, things along those lines. But if you are behind on some of your monthly payments for any reason, I really, really hope that you put those funds towards your debt, because although we're in a crisis, paying off those balances are still super duper important. And I actually just wanted to shed some light on the current unemployment issues that we're facing right now in the US. So the nation's unemployment rate is set to spike due to the coronavirus pandemic, what we call being quarantined, otherwise known as social distancing, measures that the government officials have enacted to try to slow its spread. So the last report I pulled through the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which came out March 6th, measured the unemployment rate at just 3.5%. So tied for the lowest in half a century, though, you guys. Like, that is something to think about. And it's super discouraging for people who are currently unemployed right now. And found that a robust of 273,000 jobs were created in February. So that's great, right? But this was before the issues with the coronavirus, the pandemic that we're currently facing. Now, now that we are in April and we're still going through the same situation, that number has spiked tremendously. That 3.5% has spiked tremendously. So just to give you some visuals behind that, the New York State Labor Department received more than 2 million web visitors last week and almost that many phone calls. That's insane, you guys. 2 million for one state, just for the state of New York. Ohio, their unemployment website crashed after fielding a record number of claims. Another state, Washington State, their employment security department cited claims on par with the peak of the Great Recession. So not only are we facing, having to stay in the house, making sure you sanitize yourself, trying to, be healthy for yourself, your family, you also have to worry about the struggle with your finances. And that's not fun at all. Sometimes it can be super depressing, super stressful, just being stuck in the house for weeks and weeks and weeks. That definitely puts a strain on people. So I definitely hope that, going over a couple of options today for like credit card relief will shed some light on some of you and given the current situation. So let's get to the point of today's video. Paying credit card debt during this crisis. So of course, if you watch my videos, I frequently recommend the 0% balance transfer cards to people that are digging themselves out of credit card debt. The benefit of avoiding interest for 21 months plus is as strong as ever. There's not a better offer out there to avoid interest and just pay the balances that you actually owe, the balances that you actually put on these cards. And so in more normal times, you get a good balance transfer card with like a credit score of like 670 or above. But to be completely honest with you guys, it just seems like now that we are going through this pandemic that these cards are getting harder to qualify for. So if you are not working right now and you have not filed for unemployment, go and file for unemployment. The websites are super shitty, you guys. And, like I stated before, like they're just getting harder to access due to website crashes, just so many different issues, just the states not having enough employees to just, handle the amount of volume that is coming in on a daily basis. So, definitely go and apply immediately if it's applicable to your situation. Wait till this video is over though, of course. But For consumer credit card issuers and other lenders, if you are having trouble making payments, some lenders are actually offering grace periods, and those periods could potentially be longer given our current circumstance. I also was reading yesterday that they are looking into like home mortgages and renters, like avoiding having to pay rent. And they kind of went over a couple of options as far as how that would be funded. So definitely more to come on that because I am interested to see how that's going to play out because, that would definitely help a lot of Americans with what's going on right now, especially people who are unable to pay rent. Like more than 1/3 of our country did not pay the rent for April. And here it is, the end of April, so we're going into March, and I'm just super nervous to see those numbers, you guys. It's super scary, but if you have the option, get a 0% balance transfer card. Of course, I'm still going to say that because, I mean, we want to get our debt paid off. That gives us peace of mind. For those people who are in good situations, meaning you're still working full time and you're not missing any paychecks, now is the best time to handle the debt that you have that you're carrying over month to month. Now is the time to do that because you don't have the option to like spend your money on going to the bar. Yeah, you can do online shopping, but there's only so much you can shop for, right? I mean, I hope so anyway. But Credit Karma is great for it's a great source for pre-approvals. That way you aren't entirely going into it blind with not knowing if you will get approved for balance transfer or not. Credit Karma is not 100% accurate, however, so that's what I'm saying. It's just a good source. However, it is somewhere to start if you have not considered paying off your debt in 2020 and this is your first time considering it. Credit Karma is definitely the best place for you to start. Something else that you'll hear a lot of old schoolers say: conserve cash. Conserve your cash. Basically, cut non-essential spending and create a new budget. Budgets change all the time, so maybe it's time to review your financial goals that you had set for the year prior to this crisis. I'll use myself as an example. I had my budget set for the entire year of 2020, and given the current circumstances, I had to reevaluate that budget because there are just a couple of things that I am not going to be able to do this year. I may have to postpone them for later this year, or I may have to postpone them for next year. Who knows? There are some trips that I just can't take because of the current situation. So the next thing is I wanted to go over with you all is that there are a couple of credit card issuers who are offering card holders relief during the coronavirus issue. So due to the coronavirus, essentially. And I wanted to share a couple of them with you. So the first one is American Express. So they're actually waiving interest charges and they're also waiving late payment fees. Bank of America, you can submit a credit card payment deferral on their website and they will defer your payments till June 15th. So it's $430 right now. It's like a payment basically that they'll be waiving for you, almost like two payments, I guess, if you think about it. Another credit option would be Capital One. They're actually offering to waive fees and they're also doing deferred payments. Chase, they're delaying 3 payments. Essentially, it's like a 63-day leeway, and that's if your pay cycle is every 21 days. Most credit card companies have a 21-day pay period, or not pay period, 21-day period pay cycle. So just, check your due dates, your monthly payments, and things like that, and see if that falls into your category with who you bank with. The last one I wanted to share with you all will be Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo is actually offering fee waivers and they're also offering the payment deferrals, but they're also offering other options based on your scenario. So I thought that was really cool because although we're kind of going through the same thing with the virus, every situation is a bit different. Everyone's living situation is different. Everyone's finances is different. So the other credit companies may provide other options as well. Wells Fargo was the only company from the companies that I searched that actually blatantly said that they're willing to offer other options based on scenario. And of course, the list goes on. This is just the most common banks that I was able to pull up that I felt like a lot of people bank with. So if I did not mention your bank, definitely go onto your bank's website, do some digging yourself and see what you can find. Calling customer service these days for any company is not fun, not fun at all. Waiting on hold for an hour, hour and a half, definitely not fun. So definitely take advantage of the options for searching things online currently, because of course that list just goes on. So I definitely want to thank you all for tuning into Planning with Ravyn today. Just please make sure you take care of yourself, everyone. It's super duper important. It's always been important, right? But just given the times, take care of yourself. And I appreciate you all for tuning in today. I'll see you next video.